Hey, yeah, let's see how you do under pressure. Oh, yeah, I've been wanting this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Okay, hey, yeah, ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the boy.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome in to another post-game show where we're going to be talking about the Arizona Cardinals absolutely dominating the Los Angeles Rams. First, do me a huge favor, ladies and gentlemen. Smack up that like button. Do it for the algorithm. Do it for the Arizona Cardinals, because we finally did something that we haven't done in 5+ years, and that's taking care of the Los Angeles Rams at home. And boy, oh boy, does it feel great, ladies. It doesn't feel great. We gotta win, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta win. We are now 1-1 on the 2024 season, and guess what? Guess what? We're tied for the number 2 spot in the division. Guess what? We're tied for the number 2 spot in the division. Boy, does it feel good. Wow. Oh my goodness. All right. Let me give a huge shout out here to the sponsor of the video here. The Arizona Sports Fan here is powered by BetUS. If you're looking for a brand new sportsbook, BetUS is the way to go. If you go upon signing and use promo code YouTube150, you'll be getting 150% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits, up to $2,000 by using promo code YouTube150. Just simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. No links, no anything like that. But we are here to talk about the Arizona Cardinals absolutely demolishing, and I mean demolishing, the Matthew Stafford and the Rams. I'm not gonna lie to you, everybody. I want to get a quick gauge on how everybody currently feels right now. Let me know what your guys' thoughts here and how you're feeling right now in the chat below. How are you feeling about the 2024 Arizona Cardinals? Now, if you did not know, the Arizona Cardinals played very, very tough against the Bills week 1 at Buffalo when the win was crazy. And then the Arizona Cardinals in week 2 end up taking care of business versus the Los Angeles Rams, which, let's call it like it is, the Los Angeles Rams always kind of seem to, have gotten our number. But this is one thing I really want to focus on here real quick, ladies and gentlemen, is that the NFC West standings is this, right? Here's the NFC West standings as of right now. I'm going to put this right below Kyler Murray's tweet. If you did not know, Kyler Murray ended up releasing a... one of those little yawning emojis out there. It ain't no big deal, right? Currently, right now, the Arizona Cardinals are slotted at the number 2 position, or tied at the number 2 position in the NFC West. You got the Seattle Seahawks at 2-0, but let's call it like it is. The Seattle Seahawks, congratulations, right? But you beat 2 teams that you should be beating. You're not going to get any cookies from that, Seattle Seahawks. You're not going to get any cookies in that from me, right? You beat a rookie in Bo Nix with the Denver Broncos, and then you beat the Patriots, which they got a pretty good defense, but you beat the teams that you're supposed to be beating. I'm not worried about your Seattle Seahawks. I'm not worried about them. We're going to take care of you when we play you later on. The Arizona Cardinals and the 49ers are right now tied at 1-1 in the division. And then you got the poor little Rams down there. Look at the Rams. Look at the Rams down there at 0-2. Wow. This is unfamiliar territory, ladies. And this is unfamiliar territory that we're living in right now. Now, the Rams do got the 49ers next week. Can they really start off 0-3? Can they really start off 0? I'm just going to sit here and say, I've been hearing all week long that the Arizona Cardinals have lost every single game at State Farm Stadium to the Rams since 2014, all darn week. That's what I've been hearing. And boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh, man, we're back. Oh, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. We're back. All right, let me give a huge shout out here real quick before we get the show started. Smack the button on the smack the like button on your way in. Let me give you a huge shout out to my guy BBH with the $1.99 donation. Thank you so very much, BBH, for the $1.99 donation. He says this: only thing is I want more McBride, only because of fantasy. That's fair. That's fair. But we gotta call this offense. We seen what this offense can be. And boy, is it special. Boy, is it special. We were talking all sorts of mess last week, weren't we? We were talking all sorts of mess last week. Where's Marvin? Where's these wide receivers? And we ended up seeing them. Okay, let's start the show. Let's start the show, shall we? Let's first start off with the defense. Then we're going to move on over to the offense. And then we're going to be talking about this game just in general. And then if we have some time, we will be opening up the phone lines a little later on in the show. So if you guys do want to come on through, if you want to jump on in, you are going to have to come to the YouTube side. Just FYI, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this on X/Twitter, search up the Arizona Sports Fan on YouTube, subscribe. And if you want to jump on, you're going to be able to do it a little later on in the show. If you can't get to it, we will be having another opening segment tomorrow morning because we're going to be celebrating Victory Monday tomorrow. That's unfamiliar, isn't it? That's unfamiliar. But all right, let's get started here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's first start off with the defense, and let's give some love over to the defensive side of the ball because, man, oh, man, oh, man. We've said this once, and we'll say it again. The defense showed out today. The defense showed out today. And you're probably going to sit here and say, weren't you the same guy that said the Arizona Cardinals, pass rusher is really bad? Yes, I did, right? We were ranked very, very badly. We weren't a good pass rushing core, right? But we got to give kudos to where kudos is due. We did say one thing, and I want to be very, very clear. The Arizona Cardinals last week versus the Bills, they did have pressure on Josh Allen. It wasn't to the point where you're like, oh my God, this team is the next level. No, it wasn't like that. No, not at all, right? And I want to be very, very clear. But there was pressure on Josh Allen. The problem was that we couldn't get back there. We couldn't bring down Josh Allen because he's a darn a wizard. Let's just call him a wizard. I can't speak right now. He's a darn wizard back there. Matthew Stafford is different. I've said he's surgical. If you give him time, he's going to pick you apart. Now, the Rams are wounded. We've said this before since the beginning of time, right? When we had our preview, we mentioned the fact that the Cardinals need to take care of business because we're really, truly going to be dealing with a wounded Rams team. Now, seems like they might have lost Cooper Kupp as well. I never say, I'm never excited about injuries ever. I'm not that guy, right? But you got to call a spade a spade. You got to call, kudos to where kudos is due because this is not a performance of, they're just missing a few, pieces, right? Right? Oh, they're only missing a few pieces here and there. That's why the Cardinals won. No, that's not why the Cardinals won, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, they did miss a lot of pieces. Okay, we'll give you that. But no, that's not the sole reason why the Cardinals won today was because they absolutely dominated on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. Dominated on both sides of the ball. Yes, they're injured. Yes, they are. But this is, like I said, this 41-10 is nobody expected this. Nobody expected this. Cardinal fans, we thought we were going to win, right? We had our chest puffed out. We were excited. We were ready to go. We were ready to see a Arizona Cardinal organization come out here and show that we're going to be contenders in the NFC West. And we did. We absolutely did. We ended up holding Kyren Williams. Peep this, ladies and gentlemen. Peep this. Kyren Williams had 12 carries, 25 yards. What? In that one touchdown? That one touchdown probably shouldn't have been on there. But I do think that the defense was actually just kind of relaxed at that point. So they're probably just sitting back and be like, okay, we're not trying to get hurt. Kyren Williams got a touchdown, but this man's stats was 12 carries, 25 yards. Wow. Blake Corum, 8 carries, 28 yards. Wow. Matthew Stafford, 19 for 27, 216 yards. And guess what? They did not take Matthew Stafford out. And guess what? They kept Matthew Stafford in this game for some darn reason when they were getting absolutely blown out 41-10. I will never understand why Sean McVay decided to keep him in there. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But Matthew Stafford's numbers are a little inflated because he was still shooting the ball out. He was still throwing the ball, and he was trying to get involved. The Cardinals did a very good job. Their best wide receiver was Demarcus Robinson with 2 receptions, 50 yards. Tutu Atwell got involved as well. 3 receptions, 48 yards. Cooper Kupp was 4 receptions, 37 yards. But one thing that I noticed about this Rams offense is that they only really got going, right? Quote unquote. I'm not saying they did good, but they only really kind of started moving the ball is when they did those little intermediate hooks. When the Cardinals were sitting in obvious zone and they just sat, right? They found a hole and they sat. And then obviously Matthew Stafford was, chucking the ball to them. That's really the only time that I felt like, oh, okay, this offense seems to be clicking. Because overall, this defense held that team down. Held them down. There was 1 sack on Kyler Murray all game, and I believe it was from Kobe Turner. That was the only guy that sacked that sacked Kyler Murray. Now that I'm looking at the stats, he was the only guy who sacked Kyler Murray, Kobe Turner. That's it. Let's give some love over to Kelvin Beachum, shall we? A lot of people came after Kelvin Beachum after last week's game. A lot of people came after Kelvin Beachum. And I said, give him a week, give him 2 weeks, right? We can't say things like, oh, we're going to have patience, but don't give patience to a guy that played really well today, right? Jonah Williams went down. He's now on IR. Very unfortunate, but next man up. Give some love over to Beach because this man held his own. This whole offensive line held their own. And we said this. I'm so curious to see what a Aaron Donald or a Rams that does not have Aaron Donald in their line. I'm so curious. This is what they had? That was their performance? That right there? Aaron Donald is badly missed. That's all I'm going to say. Aaron Donald is badly missed. Kyler was very good today. Very, very good. I'm not even going to move to the offense yet. Let's stay with the defense. I want to make sure that I give some proper love to the defensive side of the ball because I don't usually do that. Do you guys remember there was a article put out, I believe it was by ESPN, or it was like a mock trade. Does anybody remember this mock trade, and what did this mock trade say? It said, trade Budda Baker to the Jets for Hassan Reddick. Who said that? Who says that, right? You guys remember that, right? The mock trade said, trade Budda Baker to the Jets for Hassan Reddick. What say you guys at that very moment? What say you guys? I'm just going to come out here and say, there is no way in heck I'm getting rid of Mr. Budda Baker. There's no way in heck I'm getting rid of Budda Baker after the performance that we saw today. Did he have a little bit of mess ups? Yes. Couple coverage things that were a little, man, what are you doing, Budda? You kind of turned this way and you kind of got juked a little bit, right? There was a couple concerns from Budda Baker, but this man was everywhere. He was everywhere today. Some crucial tackles from Budda Baker. There's no way in heck I'm signing off on a Budda Baker trade for Hassan Reddick. No way in heck. Retire as a Cardinal. That's what I would say. Because, man, this man played his heart out. He played his heart out today. He tallied 8 tackles. Pretty good job. But I think the MVP, and let me know if you guys agree, the MVP of this game on the defensive side of the ball, I love Budda, but Dennis Gardeck. Man, that's why I'm showing some love right here to the Mr. Barbarian himself. MVP on the defensive side of the ball. If there is a ball given to the defense or a player on the defense, this man right here. Mr. Goldilocks, Mr. Fabio, Mr. Barbarian Dennis Gardeck had himself a game today. 6 tackles, 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble. This man played his heart out today. Yes. I was the guy that said our pass rushing core is not good. I said that. I'll eat crow. I'm okay with that. I'll eat crow. If we can get a performance like that from Dennis, from Zaven, week in and week out. Now, obviously, Dennis doesn't have to be the one eating all the time. It could be Zaven eating here and there, right? But that's what I want to see. I want to see pressure. I want to see dominance. I want to see, quote unquote, what JG would say. I want to see violence, ladies and gentlemen. I want to see violence. And that's what we saw from Dennis Gardeck. Violence. Absolute violence. 3 sacks today. Kazir White, I love Kazir. I think he's solid. Starling Thomas V, man, what a great acquisition for the Cardinals. I love him. I really do. Zaven Collins, take a bow, young man, because you deserve it. Zaven Collins, 1 tackle, 1 assist, 1 sack. Our defense showed the heck out today. They really, really did. We got to give kudos to where kudos is due. And this guy right here showed the heck out. Now, we did see some Julian Aquaro today. I'm curious to figure out if the snap counts have been released already. I'm so curious because, honestly, there was a couple people that I'm a little bummed out that didn't play today. Yeah, it's out. Okay, perfect. I'm going to be looking at the snap counts a little later on because I think it's very important to kind of see exactly what happened, right? But yes, MVP, who's going to get the defensive ball? This man right here, Mr. Goldilocks, Mr. Barbarian's getting that defensive ball from me. Let me give a huge shout out to my guy Ranger, the Patriot. Good Lord. Ranger, the Patriot, with a $50 donation. That is how you establish culture, he says. No doubt. No doubt. That's how you establish culture. 110%. You win at home. You eat at home. You make teams fear playing you at home. That's what you want to see week in and week out. Absolutely, Ranger. Thank you so very much for the $50 donation. Absolutely generous. Very generous. I don't think anybody suspected this game to turn out the way that it did. And if you're saying that you expected this, you're a darn liar. You're a darn liar because nobody suspected this. Nobody suspected this blowout. And just to be clear, the snap counts have not been released yet. I'm sorry. It's going to be released probably by tomorrow morning. So the snap counts, I thought it was, but it's not released yet. No. But yes, the defense balled out. Absolutely. They put their dominance out there, and they did a fantastic job. Fantastic job. Absolutely. We do got some other contributions coming our way. We got Indigo Aura with the super chat. He says, Bidwell, pay that man number 3. We're going to get back to this, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about Budda Baker. We're going to talk about Budda Baker because there's a lot of people out there that wanted to mock him and trade him away. No, I'm not one of those guys. Keep Budda here. We don't want another Tyrann Mathieu. We don't want another one of those. Matthew, what's up, buddy? He says, imagine we had BJ and Darius. Woo-wee. I'm already imagining it, my guy. I'm already imagining it. What's up, Andrew? He says, let's be loud in the round table. This is our year. Love it. If you do not know what the round table is or what Andrew's talking about, every Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen, every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Arizona time, we go live on the NFC West Roundtable. It's a separate YouTube channel. We go over there and we talk we talk to every representative in the NFC West, and boy, oh boy, oh boy, are we coming in guns a-blazing. Are we coming in guns a-blazing this time around? Absolutely we are. Absolutely we are. 100% agree. Thanks for the super chat. We will get back to the super chats here. I want to move on over to the offensive side of the ball. Let's do that. Because last week, there were some people in the chat that were saying the Arizona Cardinals should not have drafted Marvin Harrison Jr. And not just that, they were saying that Marvin Harrison Jr. was a bust. Does anybody remember that? My chat was going a little wild. Now, was I a little kind of stern last week? Of course, right? I don't want to lose. There were some good things to take away, right? There was definitely some good things to take away from last week. This was this is what you needed right here. This is what you needed. A performance like we saw. A performance like we just saw. Marvin Harrison Jr., ladies and gentlemen, is him. You know, the funny thing is that in the games before our game started at 1 p.m. AZ time, the games before, Malik Neighbors went off with Daniel. He was targeted 12, 13 plus times. Oh, Malik Neighbors went off. But guess what? Doesn't matter. Because we got the best wide receiver in the damn draft. Marvin Harrison Jr., take a bow. There's a lot more game balls I want to give out to the offensive side of the ball than defense. But I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to take anything from the defense. The defense did a very, very good job. They stood up. But man, the offense is what really put a staple point. The offense really put a staple point out here. And it started here with Marvin Harrison Jr. With a touchdown that some Rams fans are coming out here saying it wasn't a touchdown. Oh, it doesn't matter. The ref said it's a touchdown. It's a touchdown. And boy, it wasn't that beautiful. It's so funny because hearing Jonathan Gannon talk about that's where the ball should be going, Marvin Harrison Jr. was double. Or not, he wasn't double, but there was a safety coming for help, right? So that was a very, very, that ball could have gone either way, right? That ball could have gone either way for the Cardinals. So I love the fact that Jonathan Gannon came out and said, well, that's where the ball should have gone. I don't know. All I got to say is it worked. All I got to say is give him a chance. All I got to say is this is one of the best performances I've seen from Kyler Murray in a very long time, and one of the best performances I've seen from a rookie wide receiver in a very, very long time. Let me get to my guy Back to the Constitutions. He says, we can beat at those Detroit Kitties next week. Believe Red Sea. Man, we're all ready. We're ready. We're all ready for those Lions, aren't we? Appreciate the $20 donation. Thank you so very much. Back to the Constitution. Absolutely do appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Marvin Harrison Jr. had himself a game today. A game today. 4 receptions, 130 yards, averaged 32.5 yards, a catch. Can I say that again for the people in the back? He averaged 32.5 yards, a catch. What? Marvin Harrison Jr. did that? Absolutely amazing performance from our rookie wide receiver. And if you guys do not remember, I was one of those big advocates last week saying things like, where the heck was Marvin? Where's Marvin? Where is he? Why wasn't he targeted? What's going on? I'll shut up. Marvin Harrison. And here's the thing. Those numbers could have been better. You know what I mean? Those numbers could have been better. Marvin Harrison Jr. wasn't very active in the fourth quarter. He wasn't very active in the end of the third quarter. The Cardinals had this choke lock on the Rams that the Rams couldn't get out of. They had them in a choke lock, giving them a noogie, and they couldn't get out of it. They didn't know how. They didn't know what to do. Marvin Harrison Jr. is him, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to multiple years of Kyler and Marvin Harrison Jr. Because, man, are we in for a treat for years to come. As long as they can stay healthy, of course. Let's continue to talk about the offense because there is a lot to talk about in this offensive side of the ball. Trey McBride, ladies and gentlemen. Trey McBride. This man had some freakish catches today. And it reminded everybody as to why he was one of the most popular tight ends in fantasy football. He had himself a game. 6 receptions, 67 yards. Obviously, you would like to throw a touchdown in there, but, not necessary. Marvin Harrison Jr. did all he needed to do, right? Not necessary. Michael Wilson, 2 receptions, 31 yards. We'll take it. That's a number 2 wide receiver right there. That's a number 2 wide receiver and a solid one at that. Elijah Higgins, 1 reception, 18 yards, 1 touchdown. And boy, was that touchdown wonderful. That was the time that Kyler Murray literally spun out of 4 or 5 different Rams shoot. Like they did not know what to do with Kyler Murray. They did not know what to do with Kyler Murray. And Higgins was open at the back of the end zone. Beautiful throw from Kyler. Let's talk about Kyler Murray. Let's talk about Kyler Murray, shall we? There was 2 big things we were talking about last week, right? At the loss versus the Bills. 2 big things. One of them was, why wasn't Marvin Harrison Jr. getting the ball? We know that now. He's goated. We know that now. He's him. We know what they can be. Just imagine more games and more reps amongst each other, and I think the sky's the limit for this duo. But Kyler Murray had himself a game. This was one of those games that you wanted to see from Kyler Murray. Am I right? Am I wrong? Chat, let me know in the chat. What do you rate Kyler Murray's performance on a scale of 1 to 10 right now in the chat? What do you rate Kyler Murray's performance? And I'm not talking about QBR. What do you rate 1 to 10 Kyler Murray's performance? 10 being good, of course. What do you think? What say you? Kyler Murray, to me, was an absolute 10 performance. 10. Maybe I would even say 11. This is one of the best performances we've seen come from Kyler Murray in a very, very, very long time. Very long time. This is what you needed to see from your franchise quarterback. Like this. And here's the thing. He didn't throw for 300 yards. He probably could have. If this game was closer, he probably could have. But he didn't need to. That was the beautiful thing. Now, while I wait for you guys to give me a lot of 10s in the chat, let me give some love over here to Dave Lapine with the $1.99 donation. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so very much. We got Deus in the chat saying, Buddha equals GOAT. Glad the whole team stepped up at those people who said Marvin Harrison Jr. was a bust. But they did need to step up to silence his critics, though. Facts. Oh, facts. That's factual. 100%. They stepped up. They stepped up. Absolutely. 100%. They stepped up. This is the performance that you needed to see from Kyler Murray. Facts. Let's take a look at the rankings and what you guys gave. I see a lot of 10s. I see a 9. I see a 10. I see a 9.3. I see 11. I see MVP caliber player, 10 for 10. 7 for 10. Okay. I will give him a 10 if I see this more consistency. Okay. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Marvin Harrison Jr. isn't a bust. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Marvin Harrison Jr. is not a bust. He just was not the full game plan in week 1. Maybe because the wind. That's probably what it was. And I know last week I was making fun of the fact that we were like Mother Nature, right? But I think that's when I re-saw the tape when it was available on the All 22, it's obvious that Kyler Murray wasn't looking his way. I think the wind was a big factor, and we were trying to run the ball and have a short game. And it almost worked. But the Bills are a good team. We saw them destroy the Miami Dolphins on Thursday Night Football, right? They're a really good team. Let me get to Indigo Aura. What's up? They say this. It was Marvin Harrison Jr.'s first NFL game with no preseason reps with Kyler Murray. Was a bad game in pass in a windy Buffalo. 18 will only get better from here, folks. You heard it here. You heard it here. Indigo with the facts. Because you're right. It was the first game. But I'm kind of glad that we kind of made a big deal about it. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm kind of glad. I'm kind of glad that we made a big deal of it. Because it put the fire. It put the fire in the belly of this offense to say, okay, we got to get this going, right? At least in my opinion. It put the offense in their belly. It put the fire in their gut to get this going. First home game that we won in a very, very long time, it feels like. Jonathan Gannon took one from Sean McVay, who has had our number for years. Years. It's such a wonderful feeling, ladies. It's a wonderful feeling. Let's continue with Kyler Murray, because Kyler Murray deserves love. He does. There was a lot of people in my chat last week wanted Kyler done. Kyler Murray finished off the season. Wow. Finished off this game 17 for 21, 266 yards, 3 touchdowns. Now, he did get busy with his legs as well. He made everybody look silly today. Kyler Murray did a fantastic job. 5 carries, 59 yards. Let's give some run to the rushing. Let's give some love to the rushing, should we? James Conner. My goodness. James freaking Conner. 21 carries, 122 yards, 1 touchdown. Averaged about 5.8 yards, 5.8 yards a carry. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. Those are spectacular numbers from our number one running back. Now, if I were to give a little criticism, just a little bit, tiny little criticism, Trey Benson, I'm not worried about Trey Benson's future. I think Trey Benson is going to be a spectacular running back for the Arizona Cardinals. But there was a lot of hesitancy to his game today. And I'm not sure if you guys noticed the same thing. There was a lot of hesitancy to Trey Benson's game. He had 11 carries, 10 yards. Wasn't a stellar performance. But here's the beautiful part. He doesn't need to be stellar. He doesn't need to be RB1. He's getting these much valuable reps that he needs whenever he's going to take on the role as RB1. I love the fact that we are using him. I love the fact that when James Conner needs to sit down and say, hey, rest, right? Because let's call it like it is. James Conner probably won't sit if it was up to him. You know what I mean? He probably won't sit if it was up to him. But I love the fact that we got a guy like Trey Benson, because he can come in here and tote the rock. I still see a little hesitancy to his game. I still see a little like, you should have gone this route, or you should have took this cut, right? Or you should have took that hole. He's a rookie. He's going to get there. I have all the confidence in the world that Trey Benson will get there as well. We'll get there. Amari DeMarcado had 2 carries, 46 yards. Now, by the time we saw Amari DeMarcado come in, game was over. Game was done. It was finito. It was done. It was cooked. Clayton Tune did come in the game. I believe there was a fumble. Now, I'm not sure if the fumble was caused from him. I'm not sure if it was a snap, because I was already doing the post-game reaction at that time, and I'm not seeing the stats here. But Kyler Murray was pulled out with 7-8 minutes to go. It was like 6 to 7 minutes to go left in the fourth. Kyler Murray was pulled out. Marvin Harrison Jr. was pulled out way before then. He was pulled out at the end of the third. These numbers could have been much more inflated, if you ask me. And now I'm glad. I'm glad we obviously sat him. I'm glad we, allowed them to do what they need to do and rest, because we didn't need them. This game was completely already out of hand. And like I said, they got a touchdown on the Cardinals, but the game was already done. The game was cooked already. Kyler Murray played out of his mind. That's the best way to describe it. Kyler Murray played out of his mind today. I want to see more of those. Show me more of those games. Show me more of those games. And guess what? Greg Dortch, he got two receptions, 11 yards, right? But that's the thing. Greg Dortch shouldn't get 11 or 6 or 7 receptions. He shouldn't. Greg Dortch is a solid player. What happened last week, the game plan was just different. That's what I'm attributing it to. Cardinals are now 1-1. 1-1. How does that sound? How does that sound, everybody? The Cardinals are now 1-1. in this young 2024 season. Kyler Murray went straight to X/Twitter, posted this little yawning emoji. It's easy. And look where we're at in the division. Look at that. Now, we do get a little bit of a leg up, right? We're technically tied with the 49ers because we're both 1-1. We're technically tied, but we do got a division win under our belt. That's one thing we do have. The Rams have a game next week with the 49ers. Guess what? The Rams never seem to beat the 49ers. That's the narrative out there. They don't beat the 49ers in the regular season. So we could potentially see the Rams starting off 0-3. Guess what? We got the Lions. We got the gauntlet coming out. That Lions team is a good team. It's a very, very good team. How the Cardinals going to stack up? We'll worry about that later. We got 7 days, baby. We got 7 days to worry about the Lions. Or I guess 6 days to worry about the Lions and get prepped up for them. Because that's a good team over there. If the Cardinals win, we ain't getting there. We ain't getting there. Let's just celebrate this victory Monday right now, lady. Let's celebrate this victory Monday right now because, boy, is it sweet. And not just that. If you're an actual Phoenician, if you're actually from Phoenix, Arizona, you know darn well. You know darn well that this win and beating an LA team is just magical. You don't know what I'm talking about. You probably haven't been born. You probably weren't born in Phoenix, Arizona. Because this win, beating an LA team, is just the cherry on top of the ice cream. It really is. The Seahawks, they're 2-0. I'm not worried about the Seahawks. I said this in the earlier part of the stream. I'm not worried about them. Good for them for taking advantage of the teams that they should be beating. Good for them. Cool. It is what it is. They beat a rookie quarterback. And they just beat the Patriots. I'm not impressed, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not impressed. The Cardinals are coming. That's all I gotta say. The Cardinals are coming up. Now, let me ask you this, chat. Let me ask you guys this. We got some time to open up the phone lines. We can open it up here in the next 8 minutes. We can have 15 minutes primarily for you guys to come in here and let us know how you guys feel. Let me know if you do want us to open up the phone lines. If you do, put some popcorn emojis in the comments below and let me know if you guys are interested. While we wait, let me go ahead and read this fantastic super chat from my guy Ivan in the let me go ahead and read the super chat here from Ivan here real quick, and then let me know if you guys want me to open up the phone lines. Ivan says this: the players who needed to step up did. Kyler, Marvin, Connor, Trey, Buddha, edge rushers. All around, amazing effort with everyone. Yeah. 100%. Facts. You can't sit here and tell me that the Arizona Cardinals didn't come out here and absolutely manhandle this Rams team. They're wounded. Yes, we'll give you that. They're wounded. Okay, whatever, right? But this is not a result of, they're wounded. No. Well, obviously they're wounded, but like the Cardinals destroyed this team by 30 points. 31 points. They destroyed this team. And it probably could have been even worse. It probably could have been a lot worse, but they got a touchdown. Man, this is amazing. Amazing. We got some more super chats coming our way. So let's go ahead and read some super chats that we got filtering through. We do got Andrew up in the chat with a $1.99 donation. He says this: what's the betting odds going to be against the Lions? I'm curious too. I'm very curious. Well, honestly, I think one of the main reasons why the Cardinals were a 1-point favorite, and 1-point favorite, was because they were so injured, right? They don't have Puka Nacua. Steve Avila was not there. A lot of their offensive linemen that were questionable played, right? There was a lot of mix-up. They did go through a lot of injuries, but so do we, right? We don't have Darius Robinson, which is arguably one of the best defensive linemen we already have on this roster, and he's a rookie, right? We don't have BJ Ojolari, which is arguably supposed to be our best pass rusher, right? Like, we have the injuries too. It's just who's going to be the team that's going to, move past that, right? Who's going to be the team that not uses that as an excuse? Cardinals came up and they showed up, right? Exactly like Ivan said. The players who needed to step up did. Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr., Connor, Trey, Buddha, and the edge rushers. They all showed up. It was a wonderful performance all around. A great team effort. A great team effort all around. Fantastic. We got Days in the chat says, hope LA fans enjoyed the cotton candy burritos. We might get them diabetes on the way home, right? I mean, they probably live here in Phoenix, Arizona, to be honest with you. They probably live here in Phoenix, Arizona, if I'm not lying to you. But yeah, wonderful performance all around. Wonderful performance. Let's do this. I want to open the phone lines. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I'm really, really curious. I think this win, obviously, is massive. I think this win is one of those things that we all need to celebrate, right? Not just me. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Now, if this is your first time here and you do not know what I'm talking about, usually what I do is I post a link, and I'm posting it right now. I'm posting a link on the chat. Now, you do have to see on the YouTube side. If you're watching this on X/Twitter, you are going to have to scurry your little self on over to the YouTube side if you want to participate. If you do not want to participate, no worries. Go ahead and sit back, relax, and let's see what the Bird Gang has to say. But super simple. Drop a link, click on the link, jump on through. I do make if you don't want to be on camera, that's fine. I do make the picture really, really tiny. So it's not like one of those things where if you don't want to show up, no worries. I make the picture really, really tiny. So if you want to show your fan, if you want to show your ceiling, that's completely fine. You can do you. But the link has been posted here, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are while we already have people filtering through. Let me go ahead and first start off here with AZ Sports Girl. Let's see here. Okay, perfect. All right, AZ Sports Girl, you're live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. What's up? Talk to me. How you feeling?
Not gonna lie, I feel amazing after that. That game was awesome. Kyler Murray went off. Marvin Harrison Jr. went off. Dennis Gardecki, I think he got 3 sacks today, which I believe was his career high.
Yep.
And wow, this was a huge step up from last week against the Bills, which was amazing because I was like, I feel like all the hate towards Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. is unnecessary. So yeah, I'm happy with how the team played. Buda Baker is amazing on defense. I love the leadership he has. And yeah, I loved how the offense and defense stepped up. I'm happy.
Perfect. Best way to beat an LA team is absolutely destroy them, and that's exactly what the Cardinals did. Appreciate you, AZ Sports Girl. Thank you so very much. Later. All right, I do got a couple super chats coming through. We got Brian in the chat here, says, I said it last year, and I'll say it again. Doesn't matter if you're a starter or a backup. You're a pro player in the NFL. You need to play like it. Love it. All right, let's get Andrew up in the chat. Andrew, you are live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. Talk to me. How are you feeling about this win? Can you hear me?
Yo.
What's up, dude?
How's it going, man?
Good, man. Good. Fantastic.
It feels good, doesn't it?
Oh, it feels wonderful, especially against the LA Rams.
Oh, man. I need you to rub it into Jake. I need you to.
I got you. All
right. Well, let's talk about it, man. We all said we needed a win, right? And this is what we needed. We needed this. 41-10. 41-10. We looked fantastic. Marvin got used immediately. He got that first touchdown. He got that confidence. Oh, it was beautiful. That was so beautiful.
Yes, what are your thoughts on Buddha?
Oh, dude, we need to keep him. I don't. I can't imagine. Look, I love Buddha this whole time. You know, I never understood where the trade talks came from. You know, I got nervous when he didn't have any guaranteed money or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean that scares me, but we need to keep him. We got to lock him down. He's always been good to us. You know, he's one of the, like you said, I don't want another Matthews situation, you know,
That's
where we
fair.
let him go and
Tiring.
that
Yep.
hurts. Yeah. Yeah.
Agree. All right. Last question for you. Lions next week. Are you thinking about Lions right now, or are you just trying
That's all I'm thinking about now. It's on to the next one, right?
to?
It's on to the next one, right?
Man, it's a beautiful thing to have this problem. We're not used to this. We're not used to it.
No, because I mean, you come off a win like that, you know, and we really crushed, man. We crushed, and I mean, think about it. Our first three games are against playoff teams. We're 1-1. Let's get the tiebreaker. You know.
All right, brother. I'm gonna let you go, man. Thank you so very much, brother.
Thank
Have a
you,
great rest
Mike,
of your
man.
night,
I
dude.
appreciate you.
Later, man. Peace. All right, let me get over here. We got Devil55 with the super chat. He says Cardinals can go 16-2. Hopefully a playoff run. Sheesh. All right. Let's keep this going here. Let's get Deus. Deus. You are live on the Easy Sports Fan on YouTube, man. Talk to me, brother. How are you feeling about the Arizona Cardinals? Can you hear me, Deus?
Yeah.
Okay. Talk to me. Can't hear you, buddy.
Feeling good, man. There's a little bit of a lag because I'm out of state, so I'm not going to come in. There's like about a 5 second lag difference. So,
Gotcha.
you know, I'm really happy for the win. I'll take it. I really enjoyed it. It was a great, exciting game. And then, you know, I ain't afraid to say it. I'm one of the critics of. I'm afraid not to say it. But I was one of K1's biggest critics. I still am, but just needs to be more consistent. You can keep it up and keep going, then I'm all for it. But these up and downs are emotional roller coasters for us.
Hey, Deus, not to cut you off, and I do apologize here, but the reception's really bad. It's like every other word I'm getting. So I'm gonna go ahead and maybe see if we can get a better reception and come on in. I'll bring you back in, I promise. All right, let's get Lennon up in here. We haven't heard from Lennon in quite some time. Lennon, you are live on the Easy Sports Fan on YouTube. Talk to me, buddy, man. It's been a while. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
How
How
you
you
been?
been? Pretty good. Sorry I haven't been on here for a long time, but
Yeah,
man, what a game that the Cardinals had. I mean, Kyler Murray, he got a lot of yards, he got a lot of touchdowns. He was just doing his thing. He reminds me of 2021, and shout out to Marvin Harrison Jr. What a great game he had. But yeah,
what do you feel about the defense in general and how big they stepped up? Because I think that was one of the biggest questions we had about this defense. What do you feel? Do you think we just caught the Rams on the right day, or you think this defense is legit?
I think our defense is legit. You know, Buda got a couple of tackles. Honestly, in general, our defense was doing really good. My cousin and my grandpa were at the game, and I might go to the Lions game next week.
Nice.
But on to the Lions, bro. I mean, Lions are going to be very mad after that Tampa Bay loss. I think the Cardinals might have a chance to upset.
Love the confidence. All right, Lennon, appreciate you, man. Have a great rest of your day, dude. Later. Good night. All right, let's keep it going here. We got Manny. Manny, you are live on the 80 Sports Fan on YouTube. Talk to me. How are you feeling about the Cardinals win?
What's going on, brother?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Doing good, doing good. I was actually, thanks for having me on first off, but I was actually at that game and the vibes were freaking immaculate. I just want to say that. The fans were actually like screaming on third down and actually partaking and being a good fan for the team, right? Another thing is that I noticed that Kyler Murray was just locked in. I I haven't seen that since 2021, like Lennon said prior.
Yeah.
One thing I did want to point out there is the team, the Rams that we played today. They were the same Rams that got exposed last week, and the Lions. You know, they did beat them, but it wasn't by a whole lot. And if you looked into the Lions game today, they didn't win by a whole lot. I just kind of wanted to point that out there because we don't know. I obviously they were a playoff team last year, but I don't think they're necessarily the same team that they were last year.
You
I
talking
just
about the
want to put
Lions or
that
the Rams? Both.
both,
Both. That's fair.
both. Let's put that out there. I mean, we haven't really played a real team, you know, but it was a good start. It was a good little home opener. Good vibes. But thanks for having me on, bro.
Of course.
I just wanted to
Appreciate
put
you,
that out
Manny.
there.
Later, man. Peace.
Yes, sir.
Great call, man. We're excited. Everybody's excited. This is such a wonderful time right now. And I don't think people quite 100% understand. Like this is a big win. This is a big win for the Arizona Cardinals because we were constantly, and I'm not sure if you guys, but constantly reminded of the Arizona Cardinals not winning since 2014. Constantly reminded. And did we shut that up? Boy, did we shut that up. And you know, we've talked about this, you know, all stream long, right? Where the Arizona Cardinals, everything that we talked about last week. Where's Marvin, right? Everything we talked about last week. Where's the defense? Where's the pass rush? It almost kind of seemed like, oh, there you are, right? Like, right, did everybody get that same vibe? It's just, what happened? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, they hurt us, right? This team is now starting to not so much listen, because I'm not going to come out here and say, oh, they need to listen to, because sometimes the fans are outlandish. I'm outlandish sometimes. It is what it is, right? But just every problem we had, and I get it, it's one game. I want to see a bigger sample size. I'm right there with you. But this is just a really good response. A really good response by a team that, although we were a 1-point favorite, a lot of these analysts, I'm not sure if you saw, but Howie, one of the broadcasters from Fox, it was like, oh, I'm taking the Rams, right? Because you see it, right? You see history, and history seems to repeat itself, and the Rams usually beat the Cardinals, right? Think about it. When they had John Wolford, they beat us with the backup quarterback, right? But like, I've said this once and I'll say it again. I'm so curious to figure out what this defense is going to look like without Aaron Donald. And there's a lot of Rams fans that did not think that was going to be a big impact. It's a massive impact. It is. Because Aaron Donald, if you give them one, like you couldn't breathe with Aaron Donald in the middle. You couldn't breathe with Aaron Donald there in the middle. It was so much pressure with just his presence. I wanted to see what this defense is going to look like without Aaron Donald. And we saw it. We saw it today. And guess what? I'm not impressed. I feel like our defense absolutely showed out. Leaps and bounds, ladies and gentlemen, better than them. And that's not even to mention the elephant in the room of Marvin Harrison Jr. Can you imagine? We had fans out there saying Marvin Harrison Jr. was a bust. Can you imagine? I can't. Because it's the truth. We had Cardinal fans out there saying this wasn't the pick. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But here we are. All right, let's try Deus one more time. All right, Deus, you were live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. Talk to me. How you feeling? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear
There
me?
we go. Better.
All right.
How you feeling?
Feeling good, man.
Good. Defensively, offensively, if you were to give a game ball out, defensively, who would you give that game ball to?
Obviously, Dennis.
Fair.
Dennis the Menace. And I might add too that, Max was being the silent assassin. He was making his tackles and making some good stuff plays on, busting up some routes on the runs. The receivers were having a hard time getting open, but he was just quietly doing his job in the back, like he's supposed to. But that was pretty cool. And, Dennis was on fire. Zabin's starting to step up. He's starting to develop into a really good edge rusher. And I think that's, this is just, proof in the pudding that, coaching staff, they're hands on, they're, eyes on the sight first thing. So they know what they're doing. And, it's easy for us to be, what do you call it, internet GMs and internet coaches, but they're there and they see everything live in person. So I I still have faith in JG and Monty, so I'm not too worried about that. And I kind of figured that they would have some good schemes defensively going on.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Marvin Harrison Jr. got involved really, really early. I think he probably put more yardage and maybe another touchdown because there was a fade route thrown his way and it didn't connect. But Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm not sure if you caught his press conference, but he said something actually like astounding. Like he said that Kyler Murray's only all the incompletions from Kyler Murray were targeted for him for Marvin. Like imagine like those incompleted didn't happen, right? Like Kyler had a really good game, like a really good
Hmm.
game today.
He was literally perfect. I mean,
Yeah,
literally, he had the highest possible QBR. He had a perfect QBR. And, I just wish he would do that more often or at least get close to it on a regular, consistent basis because that's what's really stoking the fires with some of us that would like to see that, but he's just not doing that. I'll take this win. I'm really happy for him. He did great. And I accept that. And, it'll shut me up for at least a week.
that's fair.
But, he just needs to be consistent. And I did still notice that most of his big plays he made deep down the field were when he had to scramble out of the pocket. So, but he was under center more, to be fair. So he's getting back under center more. So I like that.
Me too.
He might have just had a little bit of regression in that first week, getting used to it again. Being in practice and actually doing live reps are two different things. So it might have
Right.
been just him. It might have been just him. No preseason and having to just shake off the cobwebs, and hopefully, we see this more regularly from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. All right, Days, I'm going to let you go, man. Thank you so very much for always being active in the chat. I appreciate you, man. Of course, tune.
Woo!
Later,
Later,
brother.
dude.
All right, gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right. So we are gonna have a call-in show tomorrow for our Victory Monday. We're gonna have a call-in show because man, we don't have these very often, right? We don't have these very often. So if you did enjoy the stream, we are going to be closing up shop here pretty soon, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be having another show tomorrow morning where we will also be taking calls as well. So if you weren't able to jump on here, no worries. You could be able to jump on the next one, which is going to be tomorrow morning, celebrating Victory Monday amongst each other because boy, oh boy, was this a fantastic win for the Arizona Cardinals. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. So let's give some shout outs here to the sponsors of the Arizona Sports Fan here. Of course, AZ Sports Fan YouTube channel is powered by BetUS. Right now, if you use promo code YouTube150, they'll give you 150% sign up bonus on your first 3 deposits, up to $2,000 by using promo code YouTube150. And, they got some pretty good props right now. They got a couple good things, I think last time we looked that they had the Cardinals winning 6.5. If you want to take the over on that, if you want to take Marvin Harrison Jr.'s over versus the Lions, everything is able to be done. If you're a gambling man or woman, use promo code YouTube150 today upon signing up for BetUS. They got everything. Anything your hearts can desire, anything you can bet for, BetUS is the way to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be closing up shop. Smack that like button here. Just like my guy Andrew said, let's see if we can hit 100 likes by the time we go ahead and close up shop. But appreciate everybody. Thank you so very much. I understand it's a late one. It's already going to hit 8:30, and I got some things to do here in my personal life. So I appreciate everybody for joining in. Thank you so very much for all the super chatters, everybody that's, used, their gracious hard-earned money and obviously donated. Thank you so very much. Huge shout out here to my guy Ranger the Patriot with a $50 donation, as well as my guy Back to the Constitution with a $20 donation, and everybody else as well who donated. Thank you, everybody. As always, we're going to be closing up shop. The Cardinals right now are 1-1 in the 2024 season, tied in the second spot in the division with the 49ers. We do got the little bit of a leg up because of the division win, but we will take it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take it. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Have a good night. As always, go Cards.